I'm gonna dispense with pleasantries and just get right into this. So, last night I finished up tweaking the ZX spectrum definition. So now, okay, so now I'm gonna do the. No, okay, I'll do this BBC micro basic. I think this can do 239 lines. I think. Fine, true, crunch. 0. I don't think this thing likes crunches. And apparently doesn't like print as a question mark. But yeah. So okay. I did BBC microdef. So okay, so this should be our this should be our output for this one. Okay, so now I can okay, wait a second. Yes, you gotta load that up. Cancel. Okay, so print imem minus top 28,158. Okay, so I can copy this and then paste it in. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted. No, wait, forgot. Okay, I sure forgot about that. That sure doesn't need to be lowercase now, does it? That's the problem with copying and pasting definitions. Mm-hmm. That's the problem with copying and pasting definitions. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes I mess it up. Okay, there we go. That's what I want. Yes. For this. Okay, paste. And since that pastes very quickly, let's try running it for now. No. Out of data at line 2. Oh, okay. List 87. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so I think that, okay, this may be another one of those things that okay, it's 116. Okay, well. Okay, so now it's time to do a little bit of tweaking. Try to see how long I can make. Okay, so now I just have to, again, do some Okay, that's great. Yeah, so again, just like I had to do with the TI-99, I have to. Apparently, it's. No. Okay. So obviously, data. So obviously, when you have a data statement, it can only be up to a certain length. Yeah, I'm just assuming this anyway. Paste. Run. No. Okay. How long is this data statement now? 100. Yeah, I mean, again, this thing must have a shorter data statement pointer or something. Well, unless I end up deleting everything here. No. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is annoying, and unfortunately, I really need to try to get this done tonight because I'm going to be really busy from here on out. No. Okay. Just keep shortening it until it. Well. Well, eventually I'm going to get to a point. Because I know this thing can support this lines of this length. Just apparently isn't liking the. At least I'm thinking it doesn't like this data statement length. Seriously? Okay. This data statement is now 83. It's not a very long one, is it? Okay. Yeah. Again, this is just the. Okay. What the? Seriously? Okay, at a certain point, I'm gonna have to be like. I'm just gonna have to. Okay. Well, that's wonderful. Honestly, this is like 69 characters long now. I mean, seriously. How is it out of data? I mean. Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, I'm gonna be like, okay. Okay, so once it gets. Yeah, before too much longer, I'm gonna have to assume that, Yeah, before too much longer, I'm gonna. Yeah, this is not. Okay. So this is just getting weird. Seriously? Okay, yeah, I mean, this is getting to be kind of ridiculous here. Right, okay. Maybe I'll try this. Run. Oh, okay, so that's... Okay, so, no. Okay. Let me just go into the... Not reformat data statement. Hmm. Okay. And let me just... change that to Elif, maybe? Okay, okay. If... Let me see, right? Okay, so maybe I should just add another basic type. Right. And put basic type there. Basic type equals BBC and okay, and okay, so let me see. That's basically basic type equals BBC. Current buffer 0 equals data. Okay, and then I'm just gonna copy all that and see if that works right. So let's see if this works. Okay. Okay, so let me just do this right. Yeah. just check the log. Yeah, I want to automate the. I'm trying to automate this particular thing here. Yeah. Yeah, that's. Yeah, let me see, right? Lucy Bay. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, let me just check. Okay. That's the problem. I don't know how to. I have no idea how I'm supposed to pass stuff to the debugger. Totally sure how to pass stuff to the debugger, so. But yeah, but again, I mean, that's basically the. This isn't over. Yes, that. I mean, that should work. Yeah, that should be working. I mean, that's that routine copied out. Why does my mouse button never seem to work right now? My right mouse button. Yeah, I mean, it's just still tagging that on the end. What is wrong with this thing? Okay, I'll try that. And it print it sys dot exit. Let's do that. Mm-hmm. 0. It's not. Okay. Mm-hmm. What the? It's not you doing it. Okay. Print current buffer 0. Let's do that real quick. Oh. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, that's okay. That's why it's okay. That's why that's messing up. Current buffer starts with data. Okay, that's. What the? Okay. Okay, okay, that makes it work. Yeah, okay. So that was just a bit of a screw up. Yeah, okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, mm-hmm. Edit fix for micro data statements. Yeah, this whole thing, this program right now is just being held together with duct tape and baling wire. Yeah, I mean, looking from line 126 to line, it's almost 100 lines. Yeah, at some point I might want to refactor this thing, but yeah, at some point I might want to refactor that. So yeah, okay, so that basically, hopefully this will work this time. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I think that's it for that. So that, yeah, that should be it for that. Then, yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's definitely not the not the best way to do that, but it's a quick fix. But actually, maybe I'll just to do set a quick thing here. Or or maybe. Hmm. Okay, there we go. So yeah. Okay, so that little crisis is now averted. 3284. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now. Okay, so now I can save. Okay, so now I can actually save this thing out. Okay, so it's time to save this one. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I mean I mean as far as I can okay, so it looks like with BBC Basic you do actually apparently data statements need to be on their own line unlike other versions of Basic. So, yeah, not really a huge problem. Eject. Okay, and then okay, load a disk in form 40. New disk 0. Zero. Yes. Yeah, no, it's always annoying when you get code. Yeah, it's always kind of annoying when you have code and you're just like, yeah, now I have to copy an entire code block just because I need some special little handling for one edge case. Oh, of course, I haven't even begun to try to figure out all the weird edge cases with this stuff. Especially in terms of. Yeah, I haven't even. There's all sorts of. There's lots and lots and lots of different edge cases for this kind of stuff, so. Hmm. I know that I think BBC Basic especially has a lot of weird edge cases. Especially when you get into spacing, where sometimes you don't need spaces, sometimes you do. So as of right now, I just have one version, one way that removes all the spaces, and another way that tries to preserve spaces. So, yeah, I may eventually try to figure out. Okay. Disk. Save. That'll. Just make sure it's saved properly. Okay. Build. Boot. Chain. Battle. Test. Escape. Opt 4, 3. So that should boot it. Okay, so yeah, okay, so quit. So that's it for the. Okay, so that's it for the BBC Micro version. Okay. Then I'll do Oric Tangerine Oric Basic. Basic length is like that. I think this thing can be 78. Come on, it's true. I'm pretty sure Crunch is 1. Yeah, this is very much like Apple Basic, so this is very much like Apple Basic as far as I know. Shouldn't have to do anything weird with this one. And now let's check the orc version. And there we go, yep. Okay, so now I should be able to... Okay, and then, okay, so now this is pasting. Okay, it's beeping, dinging at me, probably because it's like, you're at the maximum line length. Okay. Yeah, it looks like everything pasted incorrectly. Wait. Okay. Boric. So, that. Okay, now try running it. Maybe 3559, 3094. Okay, let's try running this. Attack 1, 2. Magic, lightning. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, I'm not noticing any issues here. Yeah, okay, so that works. Yeah, I mean, I know most of these should be working, but still. Oh. Paste this back in again. So yeah, aside from the occasional ding it'll make when it, because it's like, oh, you're at the end. This is the maximum line length you can do. So, yeah. But other than that, the org. Okay. But other than that, the org version. But other than that, the org version seems to work pretty well with this. Okay. Okay, now resave it without the auto so I can reload it later on. Okay. CD euphoric, euphoric. Quark DOS. Insert blank disk. Turn. Spacebar quit. Format 1. Yeah, I know. This is just one of those weird things where it's just like, yeah, occasionally you have to use different emulators for different purposes just because one emulator works with something, the other one doesn't. You know. Okay. Copy 0-system.dos to 1-system.dos. Or whatever. Yeah, okay. So that should work, I think. Oh, wait. Wait a second. Okay. Plus more options. Microdisk. Insert disk. Okay, so that's okay. And then insert tape. Okay, and then that should be yeah. Okay, it's all in there. Okay, save. TST, comma auto. Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so hard reset. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so that works. Okay, now. Okay, so now I can. So now it's time to do the MSX. Alright, so MSX Basic. Pretty sure this one is capable of much longer normal lines. Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, I mean, not. Shouldn't. Yeah, pretty sure this will work. Gotta do something else real quick here. And that. Okay, so the MSX version 1's processed. Looks like this, even though. Yeah, but I think this should. Yeah, I mean, this is. Well, we'll see what happens with this. Yeah, we'll see what happens with this version. I mean, the interesting thing about the MSX is the fact that it, depending on which version of BASIC it's derived from, there could be issues here. I mean, it is a, you know, if it's derived more from. Yeah, it depends on whether it's derived from. I'll have to see. I mean, but it seems to be working. It's not complaining, so probably means it'll work. I hope. Yeah, I mean, one of the things about some versions of Microsoft Basic, I mean, most of the earlier ones didn't. They didn't care about spaces, but this one might. There is at least a possibility that this one will care about spaces in between. Will care about the fact there's no spaces because it's, because the later versions of Z80 Basic tended to be more. They required spaces. They also allowed you to use longer variable names, but they required spaces and everything else, and generally, yeah, not really a good idea at the time when you think about it. It's like, oh, this will make programs easier to read, but it's like, yeah, but those spaces take up room. And unfortunately, I think it still stored the spaces. That was the problem. Luckily, this one allows for longer line lengths than some of the others, but still. Yeah, that's the thing. That, yeah, I mean, I'm getting. Problem is, right now I'm going to be really, really busy for the next. I was kind of suspecting I might be, and then yeah, I'm going to be pretty busy for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think. So, and so right now I'm just trying to get this thing done. You know, I want to get this thing done. I mean, I'm not sure if I'll be able to even be able to post the source code for this program, but I might be. I might be able to, or I might not. It kind of depends. I mean, the problem really though is it's like I need to at least have some kind of README, and I may not. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna have time to write up a README if the right things are gonna be going. I think, and I'll try to finish this up. But yeah, considering I'm not working on a huge amount of sleep from yesterday, and yeah, I mean, I'm not. We'll see. Realistically, though, yeah, I mean, if the way things are going, I mean, who knows? I may get this thing done tonight, and it may be a couple of weeks before I actually can, well, release this thing. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Actually, no, wait. 2346. Huh. Okay, yeah. C save, bat, TST. Okay. Now I call format, drive A, on-site double track. Okay, there we go. No, wait. Auto exec dot bass. Okay. And format the double-sided disk. but still, after this stuff's done, then I've just gotta get my line cruncher working with the Coleco Atom, Amstrad CPC, and then a couple of other things. But yeah. Yeah, there's only a couple more things I'll actually have to I'll really be pasting stuff in with, so I'll be at the Atom is probably going to take a while, I think, because of the way that, well, more to the point, the way you can't properly paste into it. But I still need to make sure that you can actually paste stuff into it. Yeah, I mean, again, I need to make sure that it'll actually. That's the thing. Last time I just brought it in with a file editor, or brought it in as a file, whereas this time, yeah, I'm going to need to actually make sure that you can physically type it in, because this is kind of designed for pasting stuff, so yeah. Holy crap, this thing is slow at formatting disks. This is one of these things where I kind of wish I like emulators that have drive sounds. It's nice, when you hear that click, 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 click noise. It just gives you some, with this though too, the FDD light sometimes just disappears on you. So mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so that works, and I don't really getting kind of sick of that. Yeah. Okay, so now we go with to Atom, Coleco, Atom, Smart Basic. All right, so yeah, with this, paste length is 100. It can combine. I know, yeah, even on disk, I don't think it saves it with. Based on what I can tell, even when it's on as a text file on disk, it's crunch equals 0, print equals true as possible. And okay, so that's actually it for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that should be it for the app. Right? So yeah, W, Atom. Now, just a quick check of that. And actually, yeah, that looks rather like it would on it. Pretty much it's on disk, so. Okay. So where's. Oh, there. So. Oh, wait a second. You need to. Okay, gotta set up the P dash disk A. Hmm? Okay. Try that again. Okay, well that didn't. Okay. disk B, tape A, or tape B, DDP dash disk A fileman.dsk, or fileman3.dsk. Try this again. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to source drive 2, file functions, basic boot, copy file, tape drive 2. Target, what do you mean target media is full? Target media is not full. File functions. Okay, yeah. So now I can close that out and delete those. So yeah, I'm trying to put a different boots. There are different like bootloaders for these things. I'm trying to put a different bootloader on that's, so I can just use the. All I have to do is just save onto the tape there, and right. Okay. Run basic boot. This should put a new bootloader on the smart basic tape. Tape 1, press return to alter. Okay. And there we go. So yeah. So yeah, this is a different bootstrap routine. Okay. Well, actually, no. I think I should take a quick break because this next thing is going to be long, and well, yeah, it's going to be long, and I can't. And once I start this up, once I start this process up, I can't do anything else. Like literally, I can't touch anything because it uses a auto hotkey script to type into the emulator. So yeah, I can't. Literally, I have to keep like the one window, the emulator window, focused, or everything, and I can't touch, and anything I touch is gonna mess. I can't touch anything basically. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, so what do I okay, so copy, make sure I've copied that. Wait for this thing to boot. Okay, do that. And now okay, now I click on that, click there, and now I basically have to sit here and just wait. Wait for it to paste in. Rather slowly, I might add. And now, from this point, I cannot do anything. I have to wait for this thing to finish. This is probably going to be one of the more annoying parts of tonight's work is this, because it's so slow, because if I don't do it that way, it tends to mess up. Actually, it still may mess up some of these things. I may have to repaste a few lines in, depending. Guess what? Yes. It still took so long for that thing to actually process it that it couldn't finish that prob. Yes, it took it long enough to process. It still took so long for it to process that it even with the line feed. Yes, even with the line feed in there, it still took it long. It still took it so long to process that it couldn't. That it wasn't that this line is going to be a error. Yes, an error. Yeah, I know. Even considering how slow this is, it's still like, yeah, it still takes long enough to basically process it that it, you know. Well, of course, the problem with this really though is it's more like it continues typing. That's the thing. It continues essentially auto typing this stuff in whether it's ready or not. Whereas with a normal human being, even if you can type really fast, you hit enter, you're probably going to be looking back down at whatever it was you were typing in. So yeah, so yeah, Atom. The problem with Atom emulators is the fact that yeah, I mean a lot of them are kind of designed to be also kind of ColecoVision emulators. I mean, oh, what is it? There's a cool CVM or some other emulator out there that apparently can do the Coleco Atom, but you have to like drag and drop stuff into it, so it's kind of useless for any real programming. I mean, it'll run stuff you toss into it, but that's about it. And anytime you, God forbid, you need to change, say, a tape or disc image or something, like yeah, that won't work at all. Yeah, kind of glad no one's watching this right now because this is just boring. But yes, I promise that in future this stuff won't be quite as boring in future due to the simple fact that there won't be any more sitting here watching it paste stuff in. Yeah, and again, yeah, I mean that line was long enough that it basically that even though there's like because this is coming from window like a Windows text file and there's a carriage return line feed, yeah, it still ended up that still took long enough for that to process the line that it barely was able to start typing the next line. Okay, but after this, then there's the Amstrad CPC, which again, that is going to take. Again, that's of course that thing is somewhat slowish at printing stuff, but its pasting is somewhat slow, but not terribly slow. And I guess the Apple II GS. Of course, Apple II GS for them. I don't need to actually make a separate thing for that. And then for the Amiga, yeah, I'll need to make a separate thing for that one. And Acorn Archimedes, I'll also need to make a separate thing for that one. Um, and then there's like GW Basic and Quick Basic and Free Basic. So yeah, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more versions I think to do. And most of those won't take very long. Yeah, and most of those probably only take like a few minutes a piece. I mean, really. Actually, well, Amstrad CPC, I'm not sure of some of the stuff involving that, but yeah, 2GS is going to be pretty fast overall. Amiga, that also should be pretty fast. Acorn Archimedes should be fast, and then, well, stuff with PC. Again, those will also be pretty fast. And then Quick Basic and Windows versions will be very, very quick. So yeah, yeah, actually, and again, this is taking a long time, but it's still not as long as it would have been if I had all those REM statements in there. Yeah, again, yeah, I'm starting to realize that, yeah, I mean, the paste mode is good if you have short things you want to just paste, short bits of code you want to paste in, but yeah, it's not such a good idea when you have, you know, programs that are several kilobytes in length. It's only doing like 2 or 3 characters per second, so it's only putting a couple of characters per second, and in this, well, say if it's 1001, about 3 characters per second, so about 1200 seconds overall. Let me just see right. Or 20 minutes, but I'm not sure if it is. Maybe end up being longer than 20 minutes. Actually, it's about halfway through, so. Actually, this thing's about halfway through now. Ish. It's been about 10 minutes, so. Actually, yeah, it's probably doing about 3 characters per second, essentially. I think this thing's maybe doing 3 characters per second, so yeah, it's. Since the file length is 3,635 bytes, that basically means that it. Yeah. Oh, wait. 52. 52. Okay, so yeah, that just managed to. Okay, so yes, that managed to override a line. What's the program entering the basic pro? The program. Hmm. What's the program entering the basic program into is an emulator. Pomonk. Yeah. Base this. Okay. What's on the screen right now is an emulator, and the other program that's doing this is AutoHotkey. It's basically because AtomM, which is the Coleco Atom emulator I'm using, does not have the ability to paste stuff into it. So I had to write an AutoHotkey script to do that. I'm regretting it because this is just freakishly slow. Um, yeah, I'll definitely say this with Coleco Atom. Yeah, it's probably better just to use actual programs that can insert the file into a disk image or something rather than pasting stuff in. Even though, again, I mean, pasting something in isn't necessarily a big deal if you have a very short amount of code. Maybe 5 or 10 lines, it's probably okay, but 98 lines, yeah, it takes longer. Oh yeah, I mean, oh what is it? Yeah, well, I mean, I've got a couple of AutoHotkey scripts that like for the ZX81 and the ZX Spectrum. Like, if you want to find out how much free RAM you have, you basically have to type in this whole thing, like, what is it, like peaking one location and then peaking another location and then doing some math to them and stuff to figure out how much, like, RAM is currently available. So, and especially with the Sinclair computers where each key is its own particular keyword. It's one of those things I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just write up AutoHotkey scripts that press each actual key. Um, I mean, it's yeah, Actually, I think I had an AutoHotkey script. I think that was designed for taking a. I've got one floating around that takes like joystick input and converts it to mouse input or something because I think it was for the Acorn Archimedes version of Elite. It's like, I mean, the only apparent it was designed to be played with a mouse, but playing games any kind of space flight sim with a mouse sucks. So I figure, okay, I'll just turn joystick into mouse input. So yeah, I mean, AutoHotkey is a nice little. It's pretty nice, yeah. Of course, the problem with doing an AutoHotkey script is I literally have to just let this thing sit here because it's pasting stuff in. So if I so much as like click on anything else, it's basically going to start trying to paste a text file into whatever window that is. Okay, yeah. Of course, I have to watch this thing like a hawk because sometimes if as the lines approach the maximum line length it can enter, sometimes it takes a little while to process it, and then the next line comes in and it basically starts cutting characters off. And oh yeah. Hmm. Oh yes, and yeah, yes, this goes up through line number 98. So yeah, once it hits, what emulator for basic would you recommend for beginners? Huh, I don't know. It depends, really. I mean, if you just want to program in basic, pretty much any of the 8-bit computers is perfectly fine. Um, I mean, again, back when I was a kid, I had a Commodore 64, so I mean, again, Commodore 64 isn't bad. Even though I will say, even though if you want a really good version of BASIC, like BBC Micro emulator, like BBEM is really good because BBC Basic is really, really good. Um, I think they've actually got a version of BBC Basic for somebody's written a version of that dialect of Basic for Windows. So, um, but yeah, I mean, Apple II, Commodore 64. Even though I will say, avoid the Atari. Just don't bother with Atari 8 bits if you really want to do stuff with Basic, because Atari Basic is crap. I mean, stuff you can do in every other version of Basic, they're just like, no, you can't do it that way. So, of course, that's what happens when they go against the advice of Bill Gates, and it's basically like, oh yes, it's like, yes, we want our Basic to fit in 8 kilobytes, and Bill Gates says you can't fit it in 8 kilobytes. You need at least 9 kilobytes. And they tried and generally failed. That's the thing. Yeah, at this point, I would love to actually just kind of show the code for the program I've been writing that pretty much that outputs all this stuff. But yeah, I can't touch so much as click on anything else right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, that line worked. T equals C, print, return, D equals I divided by H, return. R equals R and D, Y times F times O divided by F plus Y, return. That's the thing, yeah. I mean, once you have Go sub-targets and you've stripped out all the comments from it, it's like, what is the? It's like I'm like, I have no idea what any of this code means right now. But still, this bit here is almost done. Goes up 3, next I. Print U1 W times print and data statements. Nice long data statements. Yeah. Okay, so I just have to copy a few more lines back into here, which it messed up before. Okay, and then copy line 2 back into there. Mm-hmm. Then copy line 3 back in. But yeah, after this, then then this should be pasted in correctly. And I can list it out just to make sure everything actually looks correct. Mm. Yeah, okay, that looks right. Phrase 0, 21,666. Wow, it's okay. So save. Hello. Run. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So okay, so where was that? Where did I have that? Oh, there. Okay. Catalog D1 just to make sure, right? Okay, so yeah. So now I can try. Where is that? Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah, so I want to make sure this thing actually auto boots. Yep. Okay. So now I do. Or what is that? TSK. Okay, so source tape drive 1, media functions, back up to disk drive 2, return to backup. So yeah, and I can just copy that tape, and with the bootloader, it will load up. It should be able to load off a disk rather than a data tape thingy. So okay, and then crunch. No wait, file file functions, edit catalog. Or, nah, no, whatever. What? Ah, wrong thing. Okay. Our media functions crunch. Mm-hmm. Got media swap. So yeah. Okay. So now I can just make sure this thing. Make sure it loads off the disk image. Uh-huh. Catalog. Okay, yep, okay, so that's. Okay, so. Uh-huh. Okay, so that's it for the Coleco Atom version of this. And now Okay, so now I go back into here and add another basic version, CPC Amstrad CPC basic. I'm not sure how long the link is supposed to be there, in all honesty. Oh, it's numbering. This is supposed to start at 1. Okay, so. Okay. Now I can. Where is. Hmm? Oh, no, wait. Oh, that's where it is. Okay. Print for 0, 43. Now I copy that and paste. Line too long. Okay. Line too long. Okay, so that's what? 209. Okay. So maybe I'll just change that to say 2. Basic line length. 200. Mm-hmm. Okay, so. Okay, so now the longest is. Okay, so. Okay, back over into the emulator. Okay. So now it's time to see if this works. Hopefully this will. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's not giving me a line too long error. Yeah, I should try to Yeah, I should probably write that down. Definitively find out the Amstrad CPC's max line length, because yeah, I mean, I don't want to. Ideally, I don't want to be getting bug reports. Well, of course, we'll see when I can actually post this program up on GitHub, because yeah, I am going to be busy the next couple weeks. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be able to stream. Probably not going to be able to do much of anything except maybe get caught up on TV. But that's about it. Hmm. But I'm not getting any error messages, so I suppose that's a good sign for this. Mm, mm, mm. 67. Yeah, some of these things are rather. Some of these programs end up being kind of large. Okay, so go to. Then save this out. 3726. It's weird, yes. It's 37. Yes, it says it's 3,726 bytes there, but when you actually get it into the computer, it's like 1,000 bytes more. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. That somehow, yes, once you actually put it in the computer, it somehow manages to expand it out even further. Okay, so run. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that is working. Okay. So, let me see that. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, that's just a bug. Oh, wait, okay. Hmm. Now, wait a second. Yeah, maybe I'll try. Yeah, try load. Okay. Yes, I just noticed a bug in the thing. But still. There's a way to make. If there's a way to speed this thing up. Warp mode or. Let me see. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Okay, obvious. No. Okay, that's just. Yeah, that's what happens when I mess around with. Do stupid things and mess around with stuff. Yeah, whatever. So once this is done loading, I can fix the problem. I can fix the offending line. Okay. Mm-hmm. And okay, now record it back out to a tape. Mm-hmm. Oh wait a minute. All right. Okay, so that's done. Cold resets. See right there, new blank disk, and then try to format that one. Hit the formatter on that. Tape. Load. Okay, load this back in again. Oh, I don't know. Of course, I'm sure back in the 80s, people probably were like, they saved something, and they're like, oh, I messed something up, and then they had to reload it and everything else. So yeah, I know I'm not the first person to have done this. Okay, so wait, disk, save, battle, test. Enter. All right. And running it through this well, not very, very long program, but I'm running it through this program, which takes a program in a format like this with no line numbers and turns it into, say, something like this, which has line numbers and various lines are crunched together and everything else. So yeah, but right Okay, so that's I'll just make a copy of this it's down the bottom. Call it say Amiga and Commodore Amiga Ace Basic Compiler false crunchy. So yeah, I need to set up a separate thing here for this. And I go into main program. There's a couple. Let me see. So let's do basic. Basic type equals Amiga. Make the file name. Or maybe just do the file name plus .b, because the compiler wants to be .b. And then change the new line type if needed. So new line type equals, normally it should be carriage return line feed, but if basic type is for the Amiga, new line type should just be a line feed. Then I can do new line equals new line type, and that should save this. Okay. Okay. So that output. So okay, so that's been outputted to there. And right, end of line version. Unix. Okay, so it's got Unix line number, line feeds, which is good. So now I can just move that into my. Okay, and then. Wait a minute. Wait. Basic type equals best. We'll just add. Or let's just make it that work. So okay, yeah, that's So, okay, yes, inserting spaces in between there should. So, /IO, that'll. Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, that inserted spaces, and so. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that worked. So floppy drive. Formats. Okay. Ride your rabble. I think that Python can do some clever thing with /r/n. You gotta make sure not to open the file as binary, and then make sure they're always /n. Yeah, I think they have something called universal new lines, where it essentially, it essentially converts all of your new lines essentially into true magic. Don't trust it. Yeah, well, again, I think the way it basically takes it and tries to, do specific. And so, yeah, if you're on Windows, it basically detects all your new lines, and then it. But the problem is, if you're on Windows, it's going to output all your new lines essentially as Windows new lines, which in this case, yeah, I don't. Most of this stuff, yeah, I want it to be Windows new lines, but the thing is, I think to load the basic files up on the Amiga and RISC-OS, it needs to be like Unix line endings, line feeds, because otherwise it chokes on, it chokes on the files. It's like they're like, we're expecting a line feed. What's this carriage return doing here? So, yeah, for the whole point is it's just you're not supposed to need to think about it unless you do, in which case then you have to account for it, like I've done with this. So. No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So. Oh. Okay. Well, I guess that wasn't actually very interesting. Um. Yeah, I kind of need to remember to look at my screen and see like what actually is being put up online. But yeah. Hmm. Okay. So. Oh, yeah. Ah, seriously, my right mouse button just keeps not working. Okay, so so I'll, so let's just say I'll make this RISC-OS and or ABC RISC-OS basic. And yeah, that ought to do it. That should do it right there. Hmm. Oh, and that's true. Then I also again need to do a file name. Need to do a file name change for this. Comma FFB, which for some weird reason is just with RISCOS when it's stuff like for RISCOS is kept in other file systems. It uses a comma and then the file type for some weird reason. Okay. Then okay, and hopefully this won't have the same glaring problem that I had with Okay. Gotta fix something else here. Or basic type. Let's risk us. Ah! Let's make sure that that worked. And yes, okay, that worked. So, yeah. So yeah, that's just a weird little glitch. Okay. Retokenize it. Okay. And post up us, just to make sure of that. Basic. And then load. Risk us. Minimize top. Huh? Oh. Print. I'm a minus top. 648, 277. 648, 277. 1. Shortcut logic problem. If BBC or RISC-OS and starts with data. No. Okay, for God's sake. I don't know. I mean, it seems to work. Let me just check it. Let me check again. The yeah, I mean, the whole point of that basic type in BBC. Pythonic solution. Basic type in BBC RISC-OS. Huh. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll yeah, it might. That's true, yeah, that's true, yeah, you can just have it check in a list, essentially. Well, I mean, I meant to do this, but I suppose that's probably, yeah, I'm sure that's probably the better way to do it, but at this point, I'm just trying to make this thing just somehow work. Yeah, I mean, simpler solutions are better, and it's true, yeah, this is a little more wordy, I suppose, but it's okay. Basic type. Okay. Basic type in. No. Hmm. Okay, let's just see if that works, right? And then do that. Okay, that worked. And that worked, so yeah, okay. So yeah, it's not a bad so yeah, it's actually not a bad change to make. It does make it somewhat more readable than it was before, so That's oh, yeah. That might actually something like that could come in. Yeah, that kind of thing can come in handy actually. Okay, so okay. Huh. Did anyone hear what I was just saying, or did I just somehow, or did I somehow mute this thing? Whatever. Okay, disk. Okay, disk formatted. Hmm. Hmm. Rename. Just copy it over there. Okay. Okay, and here. Just make a copy. Suppose I'll make it. Oh no, wait. Make a copy of that one. Actually, that's a good one. Okay. That's CP5. Change that to GW basic. GW basic. Fine. Okay. And okay. Check this. Yep. Looking good. So now I can those. Hmm. Okay. Switch. Hundred and then no. List. Mm-hmm. 18. Okay, so yeah, that's it for that. So save. And run. Oh, wait. That works. Cure. Okay, so that worked. Oh yeah, and then there's a quick basic version. But I can just use no way. That too. Okay, and now no wait there. Okay, so there's that. Make exe file. Yeah, okay. Well, that works. So I can quit out of there. Wait, DOS. Copy that there. And copy that there. And we've got that. So okay. Users slash okay, and then sure, right? Ascom free. Or what is that? Oh, Windows. Windows. That's what I want. Windows.bas. Okay, and then pc-lang qb-v windows.bas. What the? Oh. Oh, okay. That doesn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't like it. Um, yeah, pointing at the wrong file. Okay, so yeah. Then I just need to type Windows or Windows dash out. It's not doing that. Windows dash out. No, that should work. Okay, so that's okay. So that's pretty much the No. So that's pretty much like the end of this, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think so. Yeah, I've pretty much got this whole. Okay, yeah. So that's pretty much like. Yeah, I mean, I think this program is well pretty close to being releasable anyway. Um, yeah, it's close anyway. I mean, I still have some additional. Still have to actually, get it up on GitHub and write some kind of basic README with some instructions and stuff to make all this work. But yeah, um, I'm not sure when I'll be able to get around to that, but hopefully at some point in the maybe next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm gonna be pretty busy. So, but yeah, after that, I should be able to get this thing posted so people can actually at least try it out. So yeah, see you in a couple weeks then. And thanks everybody who's watching.